Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. Thank you so much for giving me your time and energy. All of us know that time costs money, and all of this time is not free. So I really appreciate you for coming out and giving me your attention. So you asked, what do I do? What do I do? So you know how some people want more out of life and they really don't know where to start. And then when they do start, they give up because they don't see any results. So I teach people how to get what they really want in life. And also I provide a step-by-step solution that produces sustainable results, right? So that's what I do. I've been trained and mentored by one of the best leaders, which is Bob Proctor. Bob Proctor was mentored by Napoleon Hill. Then you got Earl Nightingale. So you got all in all a mixture of over 152 years of mentorship. That's going to be mentored through me to you, right? So what a maze. I mean, so what does that mean? That means the standard and the credibility of the mentor, the mindset, all has been trained through me. So thank you so much for joining me. So I'm affiliated with the Bob Proctor Institution. I am been through him as affiliation. Also, again, it's been coached through some of the best mentorship of the Bob Proctor and Gallagher Institution. All right, so let's get in here. So today we want to talk about lesson 4. Lesson 4 really talks about the mind, right? It really talks about how the mind operates. There's a great quote that says, "We are what we think about all day long." And that quote is a great quote, and I hope all of you heard it. It was Ralph Waldo, great quote. Again, I'll repeat that. We are what we think about all day long. We are what we think about all day long. So what does that mean? We can think about our problem all day long, or we can think about the solution, right? I would encourage you to think about the solution. I get it, it's tough. You got a bill due, your debt is up here, you got credit cards due, you have very limited money. But what is that going to change? Thinking about it all day long is not going to change. Think about the solution. And here today, I'm going to help you and show you how that you can focus your mind on the future and not a report from the past. There's illustration that most salespeople, they get a sales report weekly, monthly sales report, and they determine that monthly sales report dictate of what's going on in the future. That sales report is just a imitation, or is just a visual of what was going on in the past. It has no dictation of what's going on in the future unless you let it. So remember that. Get a sales report, or even, I'm gonna break it down to even a father. Look father for you. Your kids get a report card. That report card was 3 months ago from what they did over that semester. That's what they did back then. That has no bearing of what they can do now, which until we allow. So we have an opportunity to change the future, but we can't change the past. Let's think about how the mind works, right? So the mind really is the powerful thing, right? The mind has the ability to change how our results. So whatever we think about, our mind has a great impression on our results, right? And let's think about this. We are picture-minded people. Let me ask you a question. When I ask you what your refrigerator look like, can you tell? Absolutely. Can I ask, if I ask you what color is your car, the interior, can you tell me? Absolutely. Why? Because instantaneously right here, your mind has a capture of what it looks like when I say your car, when I say your refrigerator, you already have a picture in your mind what it looks like. But if I ask you what your brain looks like, what your mind looks like, you would tell me what your brain looks like, a picture of what you've seen in the textbook. But no one has actually seen your mind, right? You haven't seen it because you don't have a visual picture of what your mind not your brain, your mind. What does that look like? Okay. We are picture-oriented people. We are picture-oriented people. I think a lot of you already have vision boards and all that. I won't get into that, but what you do, you put a visualization up every day until you see it. We are picture-oriented people, and it goes by repetition. Repetition over and over again. Repetition over and over again. Repetition over and over again. The mind is the greatest power of creation. That's by Dr. J.B. Bryant. He did a great quote. The mind is the greatest power of all creation. Your mind is so powerful, but you have to train your mind. When we're thinking of something with our mind, we're thinking of a picture. We recognize that we present it back to us, right? So we have to always remember that. We are what? What happens is we're a spiritual people. People don't realize that we're very we're spiritual people. We're spiritual, intellectual, and I think there's one more. We're spiritual and we're intellectual people, right? So we have both sides of us that we are, spiritual and intellectual people. So you have to remember your mind is broken up in two parts. I want you to take a look at this. I want you to just play with me for a minute. You have two parts to your mind. You have what? You have your conscious and you have your subconscious mind. And I'm going to show you here in a minute what we call the stick person. The stick person is what really kind of brings this thing into full play. It's called a stick person, the magical graphic, right? But I want you to think of this, your mind broken up into two parts. What I'm going to do, I'm going to show you here in a minute of how that works and how it operates with the universe. What we think with our five senses. And from our five senses, how it affects our body. And from our body, our body produces results. A person's behavior, really, if you look at a person's behavior, it really determines their results from their behavior. So I want you to sometimes just sit back and just watch somebody. Just watch and see how they behave, right? And see how they behave. 96 to 90% of all our perceptions, behavior, and results are conscious. Only 2 to 4% are subconscious. Isn't that something? Only 96 to 98% of our things are subconscious, are conscious. Only 2 and 4% are subconscious. So that means all of this in your conscious mind, right? Those are five senses that you're thinking about, right? Only 2-4% for subconscious mind. So what we have to do, change that. How do we do it? Program our subconscious mind to get the results that we need. How do you subprogram it? Repetition. There's only two ways, either through a 9/11 or a tragedy, or repetition. Repeatedly every day. Repeatedly every day. Repeatedly every day. Repeatedly every day. 96 to 98% of all our perceptions and behavior and results are subconscious. Only 2 to 4% are conscious. And we want to correct that. 96, 90% are subconscious. Only 2 to 4% are conscious. But how do we program our subconscious mind? Through repetition. When you're sleeping at night, you're just dreaming of your subconscious, right? When you wake up in the morning, now you're conscious, you're thinking. Your five senses all going on around you. Let's jump into the stick man here. Let's look at this stick man here. Get a board here. So I want you to, the stick man, I want you to look at this. There we go. All right, so excuse my drawing here. So let's look at this. And I'm going to make some just small letters for some of us that are writing the word out. So here's our brain. Here's our body. Right here. The body. The legs and feet. Okay. So let's look at this. So remember I said your brain is breaking up into two parts. Here you have your C for your conscious. Here, this is your subconscious part right here. Subconscious. What happens is our conscious mind is operated by all our five senses, what's going on around our environment, right? What we hear, what we smell, what we taste, right? All those five senses. I'm gonna call it the big five. Big five. These are all the five senses of what we use to operate. This is a body here, B. Okay. What happens is our conscious mind all day long, this is what we're thinking about all day long. And what happens is this is right here is our subconscious. Where we get emotion involved there of what we think about. Emotion involved. Okay. This is what we get emotion involved. This is what we think about in our conscious mind. So what happens is this rolls down to our emotion involved in what we think about. And then what happens, it transfers down to our body. And what happens here? This is our actions. Comes out. Right? This is our actions. Your actions. This is your actions. What happens is from your actions, what we call out here is the environment. Universe, right? This is the universe. So what happens is your actions goes out in the universe, the environment, it reacts to your actions. And this right here produces in the middle your results. Your results. I'm gonna break it down here in a minute. Oh, you are spelling's bad. Excuse me for the drawing, but all right, let's look at this. Let's break this down. All right, I'll explain this a little ugly, but you have here, you have your five senses, which is your conscious mind. It's what you're thinking about all day long, right? Whatever you think about, you're thinking about, your problem, right? You're thinking about, I got bills I need to get paid. I got, this credit card bill coming due. I got this electric bill that's coming. I don't have the money for this. And you get emotion involved in it right here. It goes down into here, your emotions. You get emotion involved. It gets emotion involved. It goes down to your body. Body sends out what we call a vibration. IB sends out a vibration. And it sends out a vibration. It's your actions. What happens? It goes over to your environment, which is the outside. Your environment reacts to it, and that gives you results. So what do you think, what type of results you're getting all day long for thinking about bills, thinking about this, thinking about the problem? That's the kind of results you're going to get. You're going to get a negative, what we call negative results, right? So remember, I said a quote, we are what we think about all day long. So you're going to be negative, you're going to be depressed, you're not going to get in, you're going to get negative results because you're thinking about your problem. Because why? Because the environment is going to react to what you're thinking about. How do you change that? Here. Get emotion involved. Change your mindset on your solution. So you want to think about the present, right? Hey, I'm so thankful, and you can trick your mind like this. Write it out. That's why I said repetition. I told you earlier in the chapter, get something negative. Write that negative thing down. That bill. I got debt. I owe this amount of money. I don't have this. I have this. Write that on a piece of paper. Take another piece of paper. Write out how you want that to be. I am so thankful and grateful that I have more than enough money to pay this credit card. I have more than enough money to have money left over to go out, whatever to eat. Write that on that paper. Take that over and throw it away. Take this here. I want you to write it down. You program right here that positive situation and what you call your thinking, and you're going to get emotion involved in that. When you get emotion involved in that, it's going to send a vibration out, your actions here, and from your action, it's going to come out to the environment. And your environment is going to react it, and then it's going to give you a positive result. But let me tell you what happens. Let me tell you what happens. We give up before we see any positive results. You cannot give up. You have to redo this every day a week. Write it down. 7 days a week. McDonald's and Burger King, they give their commercials out 7 days a week. Repetition. You have to continue to do this repetition. That positive results, read it, put it on a piece of paper, put it on something that you can hear it, tape it, and put it in your ear so you can hear this up here in this 5 senses, so it can get in your subconscious. From your subconscious, it gets down in your body, so it can do an action. From your action, it gets out to the environment. From the environment, it gives you a result. It's a flow. But you can't give up. Just because you don't see any results in a week, don't give up. Just because you don't see in a month, give up. Don't give up. Continue until you see your positive results. This is how the stick man works, of how you think. You thinking it in your 5 senses. From the thinking, you get emotion involved, which is your subconscious mind. Your body reacts to it, sends a vibration. That vibration sends out, which is your actions. The environment on your outside reacts to it. And this is in the middle, is where you get your results. That's why it's very important that we think positive, that we think of the solution, and not think of the problem. You don't want to think of the problem. You want to think of the solution. We are programmed, again, as pictured folks. Get you a picture of how you want that situation. Get your picture, put it up here. Get your picture. Sorry, put your picture here. You're thinking what you're thinking about. And that would get in you would get emotion involved in that. You get emotion involved, your body is going to send out that to the environment, and it's going to track that of what it put out. And it's going to bring you that results. You see that? Your body is going to send out something over to the environment, this world, the system. It's going to send out something. Say, hey, John, he wants more money. He needs $200,000. It's going to send out that. It's going to give you those positive results. So I want you to pay attention how people react. Remember, pay attention how people react, right? Pay attention how people react. Pay attention how people react. Your results is a direct reflection of what's going on inside. And until you change the inside, the outside will never change. Remember that, 1. 2, I want you to remember also 96 and 98% of all our perception, behavior, results in behavior are subconscious, and 2 to 4% are conscious. Say it again. 96 to 98% of our perception, results, and behavior are subconscious. 2 to 4% are conscious. Okay, I want you to remember that, please. And also, more time, all of your results are a direct reflection of what's going on the inside, going on up here. So we have to change our subconscious. What are emotion involved in? You have to always pay attention to what are my emotions involved in. What is this? That is it good? It's giving me good results. It's not getting me good results. Let me go back and see, can I get a picture, image of what emotion involved in? So it goes down to my body. It goes out to the universe. When it goes out to the universe, it's going to bring me positive results. Why? Because I'm putting right here, emotion involved, I'm putting in for what I really want. Okay. Motion involved, motion involved, motion involved. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hope all of you got something out of this. Again, continue to think positive. Don't continue to think on your problem, because the problem, you keep thinking on it, all of the universe is just going to bring you that negative results. Think of your solution. Put it out there, put a picture in it, so the universe can react to it in your reaction. And from there, it gives you that positive results. Thank you once again for joining me. Have a good day.